All right, last chem catalyst before I come back. All right, so go ahead, copy it down. If you haven't already, definitely try to do this one on your own. On Monday when I get back, we're going to do a mini quiz, and it's going to be over this. So there'll be a little time to practice. But again, we've been doing this now potentially every day, hopefully. All right, so really practice this. Try it on your own. Figure out how you're going to do it. And then unpause this when you're ready for the solutions. All right, again, when you're talking about the difference between a Bronsted-Lowry acid versus a Bronsted-Lowry base, you want to be thinking of what's happening to the H+. If it's an acid, it's going to lose its H+, or donate it. If it's a base, it's going to be accepting the H+, or gaining it. All right? And we call them conjugates of one another because they look very similar. All right? Just one has an H+ and one doesn't. That's the only difference. All right? So if you're told to find a conjugate base, that means you are an acid. All right? So for example, our first one, H2SO4, just sulfuric acid. All right? H2SO4. All right? We're going to donate one of our H pluses, not both, but just one, to become our conjugate base. All right? So when we lose H+, we've only got one H now, and our charge goes down one, all right, because we lost a positive charge. All right. On the other hand, if we have something like H2PO4 with a -1 charge, remember normal phosphoric acid would normally have 3 hydrogen ions, all right, 3 protons, because it's a triprotic acid. This is one that has already lost one of its H pluses, and now we're going to have it lose another one because it wants to know what is the conjugate base of this, all right? So instead of 2 hydrogens, again, there's only going to be 1. So we have HPO4. It's looking very similar to the one above it, except for the charge is going to be different. All right, this one already had a -1 when we started. Now it has to go down again to be a 2- charge. Okay, so be careful of that. If you're becoming a base, you're losing a hydrogen and you're going down 1 charge. Okay, on the other hand, we have something like S2- that is a base, and we want to know what its conjugate acid is. So bases are going to gain H+. They're going to get an H+. So we gain 1 hydrogen, HS, and we add a +1 charge to this. So 2- plus 1 is just going to be a 1- charge. And again, we're just writing a minus sign. If you want to write 1-, that's okay. Okay, this last one, H2O, all right, again, it's not that we've never seen it as an acid before, but right now it's telling us it's a base because it wants to know what its conjugate acid is, all right? You can't have a conjugate acid of an acid. That's not a thing, all right? So this base is going to accept H+. We know when H2O gains H+, it becomes that new polyatomic ion we learned about from the very beginning, H3O with a positive charge, all right? It gained a hydrogen and it gained a positive charge, all right? Hopefully by now this is easy, okay? Go ahead, get out your packet. Today you guys are going to be doing the last activity. You will have some time to wrap it up on Monday if you need to, just like you'll have time on Monday to ask me questions on anything you're confused about still. All right, but for now, you guys are going to be working on the next activity that talks about strengths of acids and bases, all right? I would really prefer if you don't start Googling around trying to find the answers before I get back, all right? The purpose of this activity is to explore on your own without the answers, all right? So those cards in the back of your packet, the last 3 pages, if you want, I suggest you cut them out. So there should be scissors available, or you can like rip them and make them look super ugly if you want, all right? But you can cut them out and kind of move them around and start out just by classifying, is it an acid, is it a base, or is it neutral? Right? That should be easy because we've talked so much about what makes something acidic, what makes something basic, what makes something neutral. All right? If it's acidic, it should have H+. If it's basic, it should have OH-. And you guys can kind of figure out the rest. All right? So you should be able to do number 1, no problem. All right? The second part asks you to rank them. That's where you're going to have a little bit more, again, kind of thinking about what have we talked about. Think about that pH chart we did. Think about what you did in the lab, what made something more acidic or less acidic. What are some things that we've talked about in terms of what makes something an acid or a base or makes it stronger? What did we always say was true? Okay, so kind of rank them. The lower ones hopefully are acidic, the higher ones are more basic. All right, and so kind of think about that as you go. At no time should you ever have to calculate anything. So yes, we're ranking them from low to high, but you don't need to actually find the number itself. All right, so you're not going to calculate anything. Please don't calculate anything, all right, because that's not what the purpose of this activity is. All right, the second half then is going to ask you to explain some statements. So one thing I really want to mention, if you get this far, these three statements are all true, all right? None of them are false. So these are three true statements. What you want to do is look at the cards and determine, well, why are they true? What do you think? What does hydrochloric acid do that formic and acetic acid doesn't do, all right, or don't do, all right? So why is one strong versus the others are weak, all right? Or for number 2, why do you think that water can both behave like an acid and a base, but in reality, it's not either one, all right? So what is something that's special about water that has that capability, all right? And the third one, all right, so number 3, it's saying, 3 solutions that conduct electricity well, some that don't do it very well, and some that don't do it at all. So what's the difference? Keep in mind, it could have to do with acidity and basicity, but pay attention to the cards. What are they telling you? Look at the pictures. Understand what they're saying. If you have questions, of course, email. But remember, I'll be there on Monday too, so try to do it on your own as best you can. If you would like, you can work with one partner. That's okay. All right, but try not to work in groups of like 4, 5, 6, because then you're not thinking for yourself. All right, so work in groups of 2, maybe 3 tops. All right, but use your time wisely and try and come up with some interesting ideas. All right, when I get back, I want to be impressed. All right, good luck. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope this week wasn't too stressful.